What is a prosecutor's burden of proof? Imagine you're watching a crime movie and the detective is trying to convince the jury that the suspect is guilty. The detective needs to show proof that leaves no doubt. That's what a prosecutor does in real life. Their main job is to prove the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This means they have to present enough evidence so that no logical explanation other than the defendant's guilt makes sense. In the courtroom, the prosecutor is the person responsible for proving every part of the crime. They must show that the defendant did what they are accused of and that it meets the legal definitions for a crime. This involves gathering strong evidence, calling witnesses, and making convincing arguments. The evidence has to be reliable and clear enough that a reasonable person would believe the defendant is guilty based on what is presented. The phrase "beyond a reasonable doubt" is important. It doesn't mean absolute certainty or proof that leaves no doubt at all. Instead, it means there should be no reasonable or logical reason to doubt the defendant's guilt. If there is a doubt based on common sense or reason, then the jury or judge should not convict. Throughout the trial, the burden of proof stays with the prosecutor. The defendant does not have to prove they are innocent. The defense can challenge the evidence by cross-examining witnesses, offering alternative explanations, or pointing out gaps in the case. If the prosecutor fails to meet this high standard, the judge or jury must decide the defendant is not guilty and acquit them. This burden is different from civil cases, where the standard is usually more likely than not. In criminal cases, the standard is much higher to prevent wrongful convictions. The prosecutor must carefully collect and present evidence that convinces the judge or jury of guilt. Judges often instruct juries to understand this standard so they know how serious their decision is. In the end, the prosecutor's role is to ensure that only when the evidence is strong enough to meet this high standard does a person face punishment. It's a key part of fairness in the justice system, making sure no one is convicted without solid proof.